Afternoon, Jules here. Welcome to my channel. Another take and create. So what we've got is we've got a trifolder and we've got some fasteners, different types of fasteners. And to go with this, you get some tags and pockets to go inside. Now I've done coffee dyed paper on the back of that, but I tinted it to match these. So with the magic of editing, I'm going to go away and I'm going to cut these out. I will also put these onto card because I printed it out on paper by mistake. I thought I had 160 GSM card. I won't waste it. The pockets are fine, it's just the tag and the journal card, but the pockets can stay because it's 120 GSM. So I will see you in a bit. That's me back, so I've cut it all out. I've got some bits of lace and stuff. So there's some of our fasteners, and I did all these because there's different ways you can fasten this. I've already scored down the 2 lines. Now this one is just slightly smaller, so it doesn't reach that line, and that one, so I did the back one so it fits in like that. I've covered put back in on the tag and the journal card, and I've got the round pocket and these 2 pockets. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to put this on here. Now I did put flaps on it and that just gives it extra room, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these off and just have it quite tight. I might regret this, but we'll see. And we'll ink round. I'm using, well, it's walnut stain that's on it. Now they do look as though they are inked because when I design them I do put like a shadow, a blended shadow around the edges, which allows you to use with cutting machines and things like that. So and yeah, I'm going to put that there. And just the 2. And then just put that right in that corner there. And that's that one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a drink of my coffee. I had to make my own this morning because my husband's way out. He normally brings me my morning coffee. And I'm just going to ink this just so that you can see the creases. Okay, that's that. We'll just put that over there. Now these I did so that you could put one on each, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, See, this is the shorter side, so that might not fit on. It just fits on and no more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the crease in a little bit. So when you get the pockets have white lines where you crease, but what I'm doing is I'm creasing them just inside the white line. So it just narrows the pocket down a little bit. And I'm going to cut this flap off the bottom because I'm going to put the two pockets together. So we'll have a deep pocket and a shallower pocket. And what I need to do is I need to do these ones just inside. And then what we'll do is we'll fit that round there, just make sure it does fit. So it's a little bit too wide, so we can manipulate that a little bit. So just and that's it. And then what we do is we put those pockets down like that, and we can put them on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink round these. It only needs to be the sides and the top. And this is kind of the reason I did the fairy is because I've just released a fairy digital, and it kind of matches in. You don't have to have it if you have the you don't have to have the kit. You don't have to have this if you don't want it. But this is a freebie, so now that looks a bit wonky, so I'm just going to put that just straightening that out a bit. It just looked a little bit wonky. It was probably just the way I'd folded it. And then all we need to do on this one glue down the two sides. go there. Just make sure it's in between the two creases. I'm not sure if that, yeah, see, that'll fit in there. So you can see the bottom, and then this goes on top. Just let me put that sideways. And there we are. And we'll just put these out of the way. Now, so bend that over there. Now what this is, would be, that would fit on there, and then you do lots of creases and that folds over, and it just, whoops, just fits in there. So you can have one of them closures, or you can have one of them and one of them, and you just put string round and string round there. So it's, I think I'm going to go for that one, but not just yet. I was thinking of putting some, so that'll just fit in there. That, and it should fit in, that's it. So that's something not to do. Now what I want to do is I want to put some coffee dyed paper, and I do have some coffee dyed paper. I'm just looking for it. Okay, now I've got two sheets here. This is, it's actually tea dyed paper. And I'm just going to put a mark here, and that'll do. So we'll just trim that off. Okay, so we've done that. So I've now got 4 bits of coffee dyed paper, and I'm just going to ink around these. I'll just take this one out. I just like to, when there's just a couple of pages, I just like to put a little bit of ink around the edges. Now, what I want to do is I want to fix these in. Now, I can do that with a strip, you know, like a belly band, but a strip there, so that that would slide underneath it. And I think that is probably going to be the best thing for me. Then that way, when I've used them up, I can take it away and do another one. So what I'm going to do is, this is the card that I used to back this on, and this is what I'm going to use. So I'm just going to trim myself a nice little strip of that. And we'll ink round it. Now this is kind of glossy card, so it will pick up the ink. I'll just cut that bit off. So this is just a scrap bit of card that I'm using to do this. And I could put it down that way, but I'm not. And these are just old card blanks that I've had for a long time. I think I got them from, is it DWVC or C, whatever. It's the American Craft Company. And then what we'll do is we'll just lift that up. And I thought that might make it a little bit. So what I need to do is let that dry a bit. Let's see if that, if not, that has, it's worked. And then that just goes there like that. And then we can push that down. And that goes there. That goes there. And it's quite. Now what I have got is I've got some bits of lace. That looks a bit like a Christmas lace. I've got some of these, some of this, and what I was thinking of doing is putting some a bit of lace on there. But what I fancied doing was making a pocket. Or we could just decisions. See, I've got these as well. I quite like these. I think we could maybe make a pocket across this one. I know it looks like, I don't think it is Christmas, I think it's just flowers, but again, I'm going to go for my Trimits rather than Fabri-Tac. There's nothing wrong with Fabri-Tac, it's just that I've just had my nails done and Fabri-Tac removes my nail varnish, so it's because it's acetone based. then I'll just pop that there, and we'll just leave that to dry. I think I'm going to put this on here. I think that's the front. It's a bit creased, but never mind. But again, let me have a look at that, and we'll have that one up there, and we'll fill that in a bit. And if I have to put a bit more glue on just to put it out a bit, then so be it. And it's not totally hiding the fairy, just right. And there we are. So I think we can trim this because that is totally stuck. And if there's a little bit of lace over it, it's fine. And then open this out. And all these little bits of lace I keep. I use them in clusters, things like that. It's only the tiniest ones I don't keep. So, but all them, they're ideal for clusters. Oh, that's opened. Right. So what I'm going to do with this is I am going to take a little bit off the bottom of that, just to be on the safe side. But what I am going to do is I'm going to staple that on. Like that. So they're gold staples. And then pop that back in there. It's better. So we've got that, we've got that, we've got that, and that looks quite nice now. Now, if I want to do that, I can still do that. And I'm going to put a couple of grommets in it, not grommets, but what I do want is so I need to measure this on, and this is just a book page, so that one's sticking on about there. And what I want now is, so that's going to get stuck on, so then every ridge, every crease, and it's like every 1/8, is it? And just putting lots of creases. So there you can see it. And all that does is it allows you to roll it. And then we'll stick this on. And then that's going to go there. So what I want is I want 2 holes, so I'm using my pin tool. I'm going to take that out. Oh, I've lost it. I tried to do it a little bit higher as well, but never mind. So I want, and it's the pin one. So this is kind of, you know, it looks like one of those pens that's got all the different inks in, but instead of it having pins, it's got ball tools and nibs. So just going to put that through there. I'm just changing it to a ball tool just to open it up a little bit so I can see it there. I'm going to get my split pins, which is this one, and I'm going to get the little short one. So there's a little short one. And there's a little short one. So where's my, so that needs to go there. So now I need one here, and again I'm going to use my pin, but what I don't want to do is I don't want to go through the pocket, so I'm putting my fingers inside the pocket. In fact, I've got some foam. I'm putting that foam in there. So find out where that goes there. That in there. Got my foamy bit in my pocket. And all this is packing foam that you get in packing, you know, in phones or headphones and stuff like that. And I just, you know, sometimes you're getting a big sheet, but I just keep hold of it and use it. there. And then what I need to do is open. You're probably better off doing this before you put your pockets on. However, I do everything back to front. And what I'm doing now is I'm just going to put a little bit of washi tape down there because I've got that on. This is Santoro. It's kind of boho girls, but they look a bit like fairies. So, and it's really, really sticky. Yeah. So I'm just putting that one over there, and I'm just gently putting it over there because what I want to do is I want to turn it round and press it down that way. And another bit. I think I've had this too long now. I think it's starting to I've had it for a long time. It was when I worked for Do Crafts. And that's sticking down there. And that's where that's covered. So we can put that back. So a bit of, it's all right, it was a bit of the tape had stuck up the wrong way. And that then goes through there like that. And that fastens that. You can still use these as decoration, but what I would have done was put, you know, one there and one on the other side. Or you can keep them. I usually put them in, I've got a little drawer with circles in. And what else do I want? I just wanted to make this quite furrified. I wonder if I could put that through there like that. So if I cut these off, like that, they're just like appliques. And they're kind of, I don't know whether you can see them, they're just sort of like on with like little threads. So if you just snip that little thread, and then could put that like that. Need to take that out first because I don't want that sticking down. And then we'll put that down like that, and that'll just fit under there. that. And then just wait for that to dry. And then these bits you can use not on there, not on there. Could use them on this one, couldn't we? Because we've got a pocket there now. And what I want to do is I want to put a little fairy journal card, or put that one in there and put that one in there. Could even put that on there, couldn't we? I think we might do that. I am going to use I've got some other bits here. Yeah. Wrong way. And I'm just dabbing the Trimits glue on. And this is just it. I mean, some of those laces that I've put on were just sort of like cut-offs when I've been putting lace on other things. And it's just what's left, so it's not wasting anything. I've managed to use my bits and pieces up. And there we are. So we've got a trifold. So all really I've added is lace and that little strip of card, which I could have used the card that I cut off when I cut this out. I could have used that. Some coffee dyed paper and bits of lace, and that's it. And that's just got a nice little journal trifold